we're gonna make a teeny tiny mini album full of Instagram photos. This is from a recent visit of my brother's girlfriend's niece to New York City. And if you were gonna put it on a shelf, I would probably tie it with this ribbon, but if it's going in your purse as a brag book, it's kind of better to rubber band it so that it's safe and sound. So the first thing I do is I just ripped a strip of watercolor paper, and all their measurements are gonna be on the website. And I've drawn some squares with a pencil. And what those squares are for is just a place for me to know where I'm gonna doodle, because it's the same size as each of the photos. And all I'm doing is creating these borders around here. And I'm just using a permanent pen. I know this may look like black, but it's actually a brown pen. And I'm just making a double border here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do some stripes. But of course, when I color it in, I want a pen with a slightly thicker tip. So I'm gonna take the same brown color, but in a thicker tip. And then that's just gonna make coloring things in go a little bit faster. And again, I'm not a neat colorer. I'm just playing around, having a good time, letting it go. So there are some doodles that are very simple, like this one, but I also wanted to show you kind of, let's say, a fancy doodle. So one of my favorite doodles to do is curls. I just love the way they look. Now they're not hard. You just start with a sort of half circle connected to another half circle. And if you mirror that, half circle connected to another half circle. And then all I'm gonna do is just fatten that up. And the pens make it really easy. You have excellent control. You don't have to worry about anything. And you just continue around, making it really easy. And then where I've mirrored it, I'm again gonna mirror it at the top. Half a circle, loop it around, half a circle, loop it around. And suddenly, you know, it's looking a lot more complex just because I've mirrored it. And then on the sides, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do half a loop, and now the curl goes the other way. And it's just changing it up a tiny bit, but that one tiny change is gonna make this look, again, so much more complicated. And now I'm just going to mirror it. There you go. And now I'm starting to have a really rich and complex looking doodle. Now I have one here in which I have already done all my doodling. There you go. And you can see that I've alternated between doing black and white panels and color panels, but they're all permanent waterproof pen. And the reason this is important is I'm about to add some watercolor. So I'm taking this brush that already has water in it, and I'm just gonna go into my watercolor and grab some of that nice color. And then what I wanna do is I wanna coat some color on the inside edges here, but not totally into the center. And I wanna add some water because that color's a little dark for me. And I'm just gonna brush it through, again, being messy, not worrying, and you can see how it gets lighter. Now, if it's still too dark for you, one of the things that is a girl's best friend is a piece of paper towel, because I'm just gonna blot it. And when I lift it up, look how beautiful that is. Super easy. And the same thing to clean my brush. I just wipe it off until it comes away clear. Then I can switch to exactly whatever the next color is that I want. And this time, instead of watercoloring on the inside, we're gonna watercolor on the outside. And again, because watercolor is transparent, I don't have to worry about going over those pen lines. They're still all gonna show through that transparent watercolor. And this is the reason I'm using watercolor paper, because I want it to be able to soak up that paint and not curl. So there you go. And once all of my watercoloring is done, and here you can see I have one. I have all these tiny Instagram photos that were taken during Francesca's trip to New York. And it's so easy to just put them each inside their little doodled frames. And before you know it, you have a fantastic mini album that has told a story through all these lovely pictures. We'll be right back.